Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Season 3, Episode 5 of Dead Air Radio. I'm your host, Steve Fletch. Have my co-host, Mitch Hartman here. Mitch, how's it going?
It's great.
It's good to hear. This week, since it's Skate Shop season, we have Trevor and CB from Season Skate Shop in Albany. How's it going, guys?
Great.
No complaints. None yet.
The night is young.
No one's listening.
We also know that one's true. I guess we'll just start off with the obvious one here. And you guys have been open how long now, too? 10 years?
13. Be 14 in March.
What brought on starting a shop? It was just a need in the area?
Yeah, I think somewhat. Yeah. There were some cool eras prior to us having our shop, and it kind of just was like the next logical thing was have a shop in the downtown area. That was what was lacking. We had a lot of good skating and stuff, but we didn't have that. So started talking back and forth and figured out a way to somehow open it. That was almost 14 years ago somehow. I don't know. Yeah, just lucky as hell. Someone put a for rent sign in it and saw it the same day, kind of thing.
I think we walk from your spot to go look at a place on Madison, and we walked by it, went and looked at this place, and this landlord was absolutely insane. And we were like, spot's cool, but this dude's nuts. Walked back to Trev's, and on the way back, legitimately, like, the sign was in the window, and I think we called right on the corner, and we're like, we'll come right now, or we'll come tomorrow, like, whenever you're there. And then we got it that day. We were just like, we need this.
Yeah, it's not like Albany is a small city. It's like, it sounds like if you're picturing like a big city vibe that happening, it's not the case. It's like pretty mellow here, but it was still super lucky.
Yeah, I was impressed. Like, when I was up there in May or whatever it was, that's the first time I'd been to the shop. But it's a cool layout. It's like locations, right in the middle of everything. It's definitely pretty much made for a skate shop at that point. Like,
yeah, small shop for sure, but it's good. I'd rather have a small shop than a huge shop, I think.
yeah, you guys have everything like laid out really cool where it's like you can still get to everything and see it all. But I'm sure after 14 years of moving shit around and figuring it out,
It's every day, but it's still almost somehow better than having like a massive area where you have to have like multiple people scurrying around. Like we can just run it ourselves. Like it's kind of cool like that.
yeah, the shop I worked at years ago, it was 2 floors. So we always had to have at least 2 employees.
Right.
So it was like one of those things where it was always such a headache just to be like, it's the slow season, but we still have to have at least 2 of us here.
And the Albany scene's always been pretty strong. So even before seasons, I mean, you guys. So there was we could go through a list of the videos too. So was there B Block? So that was before seasons.
That was
That was before. Wow. And you had Smallbany.
That was like the we're opening a shop video. Like there was that much footage. And our good friend who filmed majority of that video and also had a part in that video, he put that video together to like sort of like have something to put on the internet for the shop to be opening, But there were videos before those videos also.
What else did we have?
Labor of Love.
Yeah.
For the shelter.
And the shelter was the park, and did they have a skate shop in it at the park?
Yep.
Yeah. It was like the type of park where there was like a scene in the park. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like a lot of people skating. They had like a team and stuff. Did a video, like stuff like that. Did 2 videos actually.
No, I feel like there was 3. Am I wrong?
I think there were 2. But the first one, which was straight up like 20 years ago at this point, that's not even on YouTube. Like there might be like a copy somewhere that still works. And that one was cool.
I know I have one. I have like one of everything.
And that's like a VHS video at this point, right?
It might as well be. No, it's like a dubbed disc from a computer, basically.
Okay, so it's like early starts of DVDs. Okay.
It was like you made them one at a time on a like computer. So like if they have like the tiniest scratch, they don't work. You know what I mean? So they don't for that reason.
It's amazing. Just so much just how the scene, and then it's since you guys have been doing this so long too. I mean, there's the dudes that were when you started, and then you've seen I want to say even 2 generations of dudes have come through since then. Because
Yeah,
it would have
since
been your guys, like Trevor, your immediate group, right? And then there was the Tommy G's in that group. And
Yeah.
then there's got to be younger kids now where those are the old dudes now, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, and then because of the skate park and like that whole era in the Albany scene, like Tommy's group and those guys, like even before we had a shop, so we knew some of these guys since they were like really young.
So insane. Going to Dylan's wedding, like last year, I think it was like about a year ago. Dylan Zhang got married, and that was like, whoa, like this dude is a full blown adult. And I remember him coming to the park as a child in a helmet and just being like, this kid is so good. Like, and that's like, I'm sitting at the wedding table with like all the homies just being like, wow, Dylan's getting married now. Like, this is insane. It's like just been that long, like almost 20 years at that point. It was probably like 17 years, but I'm like, you watch these dudes grow up and it's insane to see. Tommy's next.
Definitely.
Married, just bought a house with his fiance, got his dog. Like, you're just like, the boys are growing up.
It's crazy when you see like those little kids. Like there's a kid that I used to take out skating when he was like 13 and I was like 20 something, but he was just like, you know, the local kid that was cool. He was nice. And now I'm just got ordained to like do their wedding next year.
That's so awesome.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
he's like
right.
30 something now, but it's cool. Like he went from like the little kid in the helmet to now he's like a dad of like twin girls and, you know.
Yeah, we have the same stuff with like
So cool.
kind of a lot of people, like more than you'd expect. Because so when that skate park opened, we both worked there, and it just passed 20 years ago.
Wow.
So I have this conversation with people all the time that'll come into the shop, and like obviously that part comes up sometimes, and like I'll be like, well, you were there like in the very beginning, right? And they're like, yeah. So if they were, I was 18 then. I'm 38 now, so I was 18. Kind of like solo in charge of like a whole bunch of kids, and if they were like 13, they're 33 now, like full adults. We all chip out on it when that stuff comes up.
It was like it's funny, like same exact, like off of what Trev's saying is like dudes will come into the shop and I'll kind of like sometimes I'll kind of remember. I'm really good with faces. Names are so hard. But somebody the other day came in and he's like, used to work at the shelter, and I'm like, yep, I definitely did. Like, what's up? Like, did you used to go there? Like, what was, just so one dude's like, you taught me how to ollie. Like, I did a skate camp and you were my instructor and I had legitimately like the best time of my life with you. And I'm like, damn, that's so sick. But also like, fuck, I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Same thing.
To
Like,
you, it was just a Saturday.
No, it was like, I'm here to teach these kids how to skate and drop in and do how to have fun. Like, try to have it stick. You know what I mean? And we'd be there on a Sunday morning after being out until 5 a.m. on a Saturday and have to give lessons at 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Like, hey, drop in over there. I'll be right over. And then just run to the bathroom, puke, come out and be like, all right, here's your next task. You just like fight to get to 11 o'clock and then be like, damn. Like, people are like, you used to give me lessons for a year. And I'm like, damn, that was like the most hungover year of my life. Trev, what did you say? You were 18? At 7,
yeah,
so I was 25 if Trev was 18, just mid-20s, being a monster.
Yeah, just raging. But it's cool to see that impact that like you gave that person such a good experience that they're still going into a skate shop 20 years later, even if they don't still
exactly.
skate, they're still like, down for
that's
it.
the wild part.
Yeah, that's the like utterly insane part. And it was like even I feel like COVID and just now it's like a little bit more common, but it was like everyone and their mother came out of the woodworks and was like, I used to skate. I'm going to skate. I have to get outside. And you're just like, damn, man, I remember you. Like, you're trying to do this again? Like, why'd you leave? Oh, I got married or I got a girlfriend or I got a job. And it's like, yeah, man, me too. It's like, why'd you leave? This shit's so fun. You don't leave.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I'm like, I can't imagine my life without skating.
It's like skating doesn't ruin your life. It's like life ruins your skating. Steve knows.
200%. You guys have the shop, 14 years. And again, when you started, there was 3 of you.
Yeah.
And now there's 2 into this. But is it difficult having too many hands in the cookie jar, or is there a benefit to that? Or
yeah, no, there's definitely benefits to it.
Mm-hmm.
The way I see it is like if you have one person you take on all the work. Like there's no like sharing of responsibility, but then you got to also make it up with communication. And then if there's three, you have like less responsibility, but even more communication. So you almost kind of make up what you save one way and spend it another way. You know what I mean?
I remember
But yeah,
Damon because I was pretty close with him, but I remember him always telling me you guys would have meetings and stuff, and I thought even Cody would tell me like, yeah, they're at a meeting, and I was like,
yeah, it
that's
was
awesome.
sick.
Yeah,
We called it meeting. We were actually pretty good about that in the beginning. Like you got to imagine, it's like three skateboarders trying to like have a little business. It's like insane. You have to actually hold it together a little bit. So in the beginning, that was somewhat necessary. I mean, this was also picture 14 years ago. Like, and not everyone had like 500 group texts on their phone.
Right.
So nowadays it would be all via text message, but I don't think back then that was as like, I don't think. Maybe
yeah,
it was.
no.
Yeah.
But it was easier to meet up and like get food and like, I don't know, go over a
Break
couple
bread.
things.
Just broke bread every week. Every what was it, every Monday night, every other
Yeah,
Monday night.
We did it every week for a minute.
We'd literally just a different restaurant every night would drop food off, and then we would just fucking get into it. It was like, yo, asshole, you didn't fucking vacuum the shop on my days. Like, pull your weight, do this, do that. Like, you do this pre-book, I'll do this pre-book. Like, it was just like getting shit in order because, like Trev's saying, it's like one person can do everything. You can just make yourself a list and go. But when you have three people trying to get at the fucking anchor, it's like we're each there a day and a half, 2 days each. You got to make sure shit gets finished that somebody may not have finished. And that's the thing. I mean, me and Trev have been working together for fucking 20 years now. So it's like we know each. It's like bartending. You learn, you work with somebody so long behind a bar, you know each other's movements and you know like what to do, where to go. It's like the same with me and him. It's like he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. It all comes together. I do some shit that he doesn't do. He does shit that I don't do, but he knows that I'm doing my shit. He's doing his shit. It just gets done. You know what I mean? It's like we work well together. Like I can't.
Mhm.
I honestly like I can't picture anybody else if I had to go into business in any other type of business. Trev would be the first dude I'd be like, you want to do something? Like, let's go. Because I know that we work well. Like,
Appreciate you. Likewise. Thank you.
yeah, without a doubt. Like, I don't think me and him have, Trev, I don't think we've ever once, not like it's like, you're my work wife or my wife, but we've never gotten into a fight. It's like, we just like, I hold a very high respect for Trev. And I think me doing that for him in turn, like, I get the same respect out of him. And it's like, I'm never going to come at Trev sideways for anything. Like, Trev could have made the biggest mistake in the world. I'd be like, yeah, whatever, shit happens. Like, we're gonna make it happen, and vice versa. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, you're bound to not see eye to eye on everything, but
it's like, yo,
No,
I'll fix it. Just come at me like a human.
No, because I came out here, I'm giving you respect, I'm not talking back. Yeah, I just feel like I'm not getting respect back.
How you figure that? I'm talking to you.
You're talking to me like an animal, not like a human being.
And that's it's like we just talk, text throughout the day. This happened. Keep me in the loop. Like, there's a new fucking insane dude on the street because that happens. Like, keep your eye out for him. Here's a picture of him from the camera system. Like, deal with this dude delicately. It's like just everything's like very situational. So it's good. We just know how to work together. It's it's like it happens.
I think it's good because partners are like one of the hardest things to have. I remember, having a brand with partner, and as great as it is managing personalities and stuff like that, and it is amazing that you guys have been doing this for 14 years together.
I mean,
And
dude,
still,
even before that, and then it was like we did some shit together before that for somebody else. Left that for this, but before this, me and him sat next to each other on screens, like screen printing, and we're just sitting there formulating, plotting this while getting paid to do something else. We're like, all right, every day. It was just like, I think the minute we knew the shelter was like, the fall of Rome in its own weird way, and we just kind of left, we just literally, Trev had this idea way before he was like, presented it to the people that own the shelter. He's like, we should do a shop downtown. And they're like, that's dumb. That's the dumbest idea ever. Why would we do something like 10 blocks away downtown in the middle of Albany when we have a shop and a park right here uptown, which was 5 minutes away. But he's like, you're gonna get a whole nother like demographic and like everybody in the streets, like it's gonna make up for it. And they were
No.
like, their thing was like, no, we're on like this like mall vibe. If you can't beat them, join them. Like try to like get into a smaller mall up north and just catch like a whole nother wave of people or like customers that might not come to Albany. And it was just like, looking back, I'm like, fuck, man, if they just listen to Trev, like, we might not even be here. We might still be working for them, and they might be caking. You know what I mean? Like, they might be doing really well.
My thing was like you go to other cities and like you can stop by the shop while you're skating. And, like if you have
Nobody's stopping by the skate park.
if you have some destination spot you got to drive to, I was like, that's not fun. Like that's why I felt like Albany was like missing that because there was like downtown super sick and super small, but there's nowhere to like stop by like a shop setting. You know what I mean? For a bunch of years, we had like one of those like how every place has like skate houses where there's like 100 skateboarders just like living. We had that, and then people started coming to Albany a lot, like to skate from different cities, and then they'd always come to the house for years, like just be swinging by the house. You wake up, there'd be like different people there, like that was the go. You get to Albany and you go straight to the house, and I was like, there should be a shop to go to. Like this is weird,
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah, it was just that was what was missing. There was tons of skating, tons of spots, tons of cool stuff going on, but no place to like swing by, no like shop. Like we were in SF, I was in SF in April, and like going across the city and like going to like Deluxe and FTC. That's cool as hell. Like you don't have to drive somewhere weird to go to a shop,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like when you're skating in a city, you want to go to the shop that's in the city.
Yeah, it was selfish of me. I wasn't trying to tell him he could get more customers. I wanted a place to go swing by to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like a shop in the city, It was like I wanted to have like a cool shop in the city. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like when we went there, that was like the thing. Like, oh, so we got to go hit seasons, check it out, like,
Yeah.
and then you're kind of like writing that down. Where it's like, oh, there's food spots everywhere, and there's, like you said, the plaza's a couple blocks away, and that
Right.
DIY
Well,
spot's
just
right up the
much-
street. Like it's like central to everything.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Yeah, they have a bump to bar right behind them. Like literally.
I feel like it's more of a flat to bar. There's no bump anymore. It's just like a weird, it just goes straight.
Yeah, but you can leave the shop, go any direction,
Right.
and there's spots in every direction, like real close.
One block.
That's so cool. Like that's a place to like go to when you arrive in Albany. You go there, and then you just pick which direction you're gonna go from there. I think that's cool.
I think
It's
so.
usually-
And
You can start at the monument, a block up from the shop in the park, and you can hit almost every spot the entire way down to Broadway. A lot of fun shit in between the monument and Broadway.
yeah, it's a great city. It really is great. It's for skating and because I remember it was Cody Rosenthal who was from out here and he went to school in Albany, and that's how I even became acquainted with you guys.
Love Coco.
And it was cool to see. And I'm sure you've seen your bunch of transplants because of Albany, the university up there too. I'm sure you got kids that would go up there and then skated and then were able to go to the shop. And so there's probably always like a new influx of new blood, I guess to say, of people
I feel
coming
like
in.
there is, but there isn't. I feel like Connor was one of the last ones that I can, really recall like coming around the way Cody did. Like Cody was around so much to a point I was like, yo, who is this dude? He's the most annoying dude ever. Like tell him to stop coming here on my shifts. Like I'm over him. And then I went skating with him once and I was like, well, Cody Rosenthal's the best skateboarder ever. I love this guy. He's just like,
Yeah.
just had so much fun, and just watching him skate, even to this day, it's like I'd rather watch him on an Instagram clip than half the shit that gets put out by companies. He's the best. He's a great human. I wish we had more of that regularly. Hopefully we will. I feel like COVID kind of put a damper on a lot of that.
Yeah,
no
well, it's
COVID.
true because you mentioned Connor White before, and it was COVID that shut down the school, and he had to go home, and I don't think he went back.
Yeah, he went home. He never came back. I was like, man, this kid's cool as shit. And then I was like, I think he like went home and stopped going to school. And what does he do? Is he like,
He stopped skating too.
oh, damn,
He's
what a waste.
what does he do? He works for the oil company. He services you know, oil burners.
Life ruined Connor's skateboarding.
Yeah.
We're
can
gonna
still
shame
pick it
him
up
into
and
skating again.
We'll get him out there. We just got to revamp DOA. This
Not
is the
gonna
last
happen.
decade fade from decade.
Oh God, is it? That's gonna like
This is the last one.
give you the runs or something, dude. That's
No,
I
is
have
a
a
good one.
brand new one somewhere, but I'm not cracking it.
This thing's still good. I'm going to put it over ice.
But yeah, I think having a shop in like the downtown area definitely helps like the scene overall, because I think like people like out of town people come there and have such a good experience that it makes more people talk about it. Like, and
Yeah.
like, I've always been familiar with like Albany's having a good scene, but then people I know from here would go up there, and then more people were talking, and then I'd see, oh, there's another crew going up there, and these guys like Sabotage guys went up there. I saw like Santa Cruz guys were up there, and like when Tom came back, he was talking about it, like how fun it is, and you know when they come by the shop and they have a positive experience there, like you know it all works together to like kind of make more people want to come up there.
Yeah, that definitely snowballed like crazy for sure.
Yeah, it seems like the last few years it's really picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like COVID helped us, like in a weird way, like not the shop, but just Albany in general for skating. It's like, honestly, if we had the plaza during the 90s the way it is now, like I feel like like Albany could have been on some like love shit where it's like, you know, it was just like the plaza's always been like a no-go, and even it got even worse after 9/11. Like if you looked at the plaza with a skateboard, it was like not even not even close. You're not getting in here. But now it's like that old guard kind of left, and it's all these younger, newer, up and coming like troopers, and they're like, "Oh, I used to skate, or my brother used to skate, my homie skates." Like they don't care as much, so it's, you know, you're always gonna have that one, but for the most part, I mean, I was watching the footage from the Adidas trip, and Ian posted the Jenkum stuff, and it's like, how can you roll 20 deep between Adidas and us at the plaza on a Sunday? And there's like, I literally rolled up with 2 huge wheel coolers full of beer, and we just all hung out for the entire day, drinking beers, skating, getting clips, everybody having a blast. Never, not once, got asked to leave. That's just like, that doesn't happen these days. You know, it's like almost like this a weird adult skate park.
Yeah, even Decade Weekend when we went there on Saturday, it was packed. There had to be 150 people there, and I mean,
yeah, it was crazy.
You get so many different spots in the plaza.
yeah, because it's so big.
Like during COVID, I remember like rolling through every Sunday. We'd roll through, and it'd be, there was one Sunday where I was like, Bronze Dudes, a Hops crew, Sabotage crew. There were so many different just individual filming sessions going on. I was just like, this is nuts. This is utterly insane. And then you go down to Vietnam, ton of Boston dudes, and that's how it is now. It's just like every weekend, it's like, all right, who's in town? You know, because it's like I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Usually, dudes come to town Friday, stop by the shop, say what's up. I'll just be like, yo, Trev, just heads up, like these dudes, all in town this weekend. Like, and it's like, yo, what do you want? Where are you trying to go? Do you need pins? Here's where you go for breakfast. Here's where you go for coffee. You know, it's like you're almost like Vince Vaughn in The Breakup, when you're like, you know, you're the dude giving the sightseeing tours, but you don't get to leave the shop with them.
Yeah,
In the right
I mean,
direction.
you did that for us when we got there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he sent us to the burger place that was closed.
Listen, I'll send you. I got multiple burger places, but yeah, it's like we want everybody to get to where they want to go to. You know, it's like, fuck, man, have fun. Like you're here, you spent money to be here. You're here on your time. Fuck, man, have a blast. We want you to have fun because we want you to come back.
Yeah, we even Sunday morning after Decade, we were on the old man hours. Like we were at the plaza by like 9 a.m. and like a
Perfect.
bike cop came through and like asked us to leave, but like couldn't have been cooler about it. He's like, "Listen, man, I'm really sorry, but whatever." And it's like, "Oh,
Right.
whatever."
And
it
then
is,
you can
what it is.
leave, and then usually just do like a lap and come back, and then you're usually good to go.
Yeah, But like it wasn't like when you're in like a different city that you don't know and you see them rolling up, you just never know what you're gonna get. But he
Totally.
like super nice to us, and it's like, oh, I get it, but like I'm being told, and like sure, like I'm not gonna give you an attitude about it. Like we'll just roll. There's so much other shit we can skate.
Sometimes that's a blessing too, because there is so much other stuff, and like you could get trapped at that plaza all day. I think that might have been a good thing because we started looking for stuff then, and I think that worked out.
Yeah,
Damn, you got my number. You ain't even asking for a pin.
No, you didn't even. You gave us a cheeseburger place that was closed. You were on the shit list, man.
I don't even know where I told you to go.
The place with your signature burger. I don't know how many other shop owners have signature cheeseburgers named
It
after
was the
them.
Iron Gate, and they were
Yeah.
definitely open.
that whole downtown area is cool because like we got a hotel right below that downhill like manual pad spot. Like so, we just parked the car, and I don't think we moved it till we were leaving that day.
Yeah.
Like it's got a cool thing that like you're kind of like there's so many spots just right there that you can kind of post up for the day, and that's it. Like you're just good to like you can skate to everything.
It's weird here too. Nights and weekends, it's just a band. It's like pretty mellow downtown. It's not like typical city vibe where a lot of the people leave and everything's pretty quiet and you can just sort of skate. It's like perfect. It's like exactly what you'd want.
Yeah, it's funny. CB, you were just talking about how COVID kind of opened it up for you. We had the same thing, but we were skating Princeton, that plaza. I don't know if you like the benches actually really look like the plazas ones where they're like rounded and whatever.
They're like cousins.
Yeah. So for like 3 years before COVID, it was like free for all of a sudden. Like you could skate it every weekend. You would like never get kicked out. And then all of a sudden COVID hit and it got locked down and you couldn't skate it at all. And then I guess within like the last 2 years, they like cut into the ground in front of all the benches. So it's just a wrap. Like you can't skate it at all.
Yeah, that spot was very heavy with the coverage for a minute. And we'd always be like, look, it's like the plaza's cousin.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But yeah, we had the reverse effect. For some reason, everybody decided to relax all at once. And now it's just like some days are just unbelievable. Like what Chris was talking about, like when we were like however many deep at the plaza, when you're there all day long with a massive crew and everybody's to the point where like watching one person skate and the most massive roar for like an almost make. And it's just like no one's concerned with getting kicked out. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But you still can get kicked out. I mean, like it's still obviously not legal to skate there, but super tolerated.
Got kicked out last time I was there. I ate shit really hard, like to the point I was like, I might quit skating tonight. And we weren't even in the plaza. We were like at a weird spot up in the corner of the plaza, and fucking a trooper just pulls up and is like, "What are you guys doing here?" I'm like, "Just skating the ground. We're not even skating ledges. We were skating flat." And they're like, "You got to go. Get out of here." And it was a blessing to me because I ate shit and I'm still feeling it like weeks later.
You like slam so hard that you call the cops to get you out of there. You're
I'm
like,
not
"There's
gonna
some
lie, like,
guys."
I shook the ground. I hit the ground so hard I shook the ground, and I feel like the cops showed up being like, "Yo, is there an earthquake up here? Like this fat
Hey,
fuck
what was
hit
that
the ground."
tremor?
Like
Yeah.
I cracked a fucking like pallet of marble.
All right. So going back into like videos, how many seasons videos have you guys put out? A couple, right?
5?
It's tough to say.
Does Smallbany count?
Yeah. So I was gonna say this, like, it evolved over time to be like, Albany videos with like a filmer, the people in the video, whoever it was gonna be, and we were like happily like help and back it and stuff like that. But like having our name on it, like I would always tell everyone, like you don't have to make like a shop video. You can make your own video. But in the beginning, we didn't really understand that yet, so we were making like quote unquote shop videos.
Okay.
And then that term got much looser over time because it was like I realized at one point shops have their videos and their teams and stuff like that because they're like a clique in a city or something like that. And like we were just a tiny little city with like one giant scene. So how are you going to have a team? It's rather just have like a giant like family. So then like for someone making a video, how are they going to film an entire city? So it's sort of just like do whatever you want. It's going to be like another Albany video, which is sick. Like the more the better, and we'll help you out with it. But like we don't have to necessarily call it like a shop video. but there were for sure a few shop videos in the beginning. And the poor filmers, like our buddies who made these videos, they'd be like, I want to make a video. You'd be like, all right, like let's get it, and then just watch them get put through hell because there's so many people. It's like documenting an entire scene, not like 7 people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's impossible to do. So, and everyone here has jobs. It's not like there's some like just filming a video. So you'd be filming a video on your day off, and someone trying to get a chick on their day off. So if that comes together, it's like a miracle, and that's like a 1-second clip.
The last one. What was? I mean, we call it Naima, but Albany, the one Eamon did, that one was good because Eamon was like, we literally Eamon approached us and was just like very clear and concise on what he wanted, and he literally was just like, hey, I want to make a shop video. Would you guys be down to let me make a shop video? And we're like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, we back you. Like, let's do it. And then he went out and told everybody, he's like, yo, I'm doing the shop video. I get off work every day a block away from the shop. And he lived upstairs from the shop. And he's like, yo, pull up, 5 o'clock. We're going to the fucking plaza. We're going here. We're going there. We're going to take a fucking filming mission here. Like, if you want to get clips, you pull up at the shop at 5 o'clock and we'll go out and get clips. And he'd literally every day get out of work, go home, fucking drink a beer, take a shit, come downstairs. He'd have his backpack on with all his shit in it. And he'd be like, let's go. Who's here? And you can see like from that video, like who showed up the most, it was like every part was those dudes just showing up every day to like go get clips. And he'd be like, there were days nobody would show up and we would just drink beers at the shop. And he'd be like, nobody wants to fucking make this video happen. And then there were days where he's like, all right, we're taking fucking 3 cars to the spot. Like, it was like good video. Like,
There's probably been like 10 or so shop-ish videos, aka Albany videos. You know what I mean? Since we opened.
That one you're talking about, is that the one that came out like a couple years ago and had like the photo book and all that stuff with it?
Yeah.
Literally, that one
really nice. Like the production quality of it was like super cool.
I'm not gonna lie. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was the one that got ruined by COVID. Like we had this thing planned for, it was 1 year was the deadline. We literally we talked about it. We all sat down. It was 1 year filming deadline. Then get this thing wrapped. It was photo book, the DVD, everything. We had this whole thing ready to go. I think, what was it? Me and Trev went to Tampa Pro right before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We came home, and then 2 weeks later was the shop premiere for this thing. We rented out our friend lived and owned a church. He bought a church and lived in it. So we were going to have the entire premiere at this church. And it was right when everything started to get shut down in New York by Cuomo. And it was nuts because Cody worked for Deluxe. He was flying in from SF. Friends were flying in from all over the country. People driving up from New York, Massachusetts, all over the goddamn place. And then the day of the premiere, it was you could see it every day trickling down. They were like, you can't have gatherings of more than 75 people, 50 people, 20 people, 25 people. And then it was like, all right, what are we going to do? Have a fucking super spreader event? And then sure than shit, we were like, yo, we're canceling this event. But we kept it to an inner circle. A fucking asshole friend shows up from Massachusetts. Nobody heard or seen a COVID. And this dude just shows up hugging and kissing everybody. Next day, I have COVID. Everybody go get tested. And we're just like, fuck. But it ruined it. We had vans sponsoring it, backing it. It was such a great work to just for nobody to. It had to go straight to internet, and it was. I feel like it could have been so much radder.
You still watch it now? It's a really good video.
I watched it literally a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Damn, I love this video. I really just love the video."
Yeah,
timeless. That was the concept. We were just like, "What if one word? What do you want in a video?" I was like, "Timeless." Think mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, mosaic is the one word.
Yeah, you could keep that DVD book on a shelf and just even presentation wise, it just looks good. It's it's tangible. It's like you have a reason to buy the DVD. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to watch it on the internet anyway or whatever.
It's also, I feel like, up until the last part, I feel like that DVD is a great representation of like this city of Albany and its skating as a whole. And then it's like you get to the last part and it's like just boom, like all New York footage. But the video as a whole was like it was a great showing. It was a great video. Love that video.
Yeah, is that the last one you guys have done?
Mm-hmm.
Well, kinda, but not really.
Well, what was the last
we-
thing? Didn't Lloyd
it
have
was-
film for something?
Yeah. There was like we did like a huge double premiere last winter for like
January.
great friends that made great videos. Like Tommy made a video, and our friend Chris made a really, really sick video
Right.
last winter.
Great videos.
And it's like they're on the homepage of our website, so they're kind of like a shop video, but like those
But
guys
that's their
do all the
video.
work. What's that?
I said, yeah, they're like, I consider those shop videos to an extent, but like those dudes put in so much time, effort,
Well,
and energy.
that's how it
like,
works. That's like why it started to feel a little weird. It's like people are like, I want to do a shop video, and it's like, sure, we'll like help with it and everything, but it's all your work. So like it's your video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're not taking credit for it. You just want to be, supporting it or whatever.
Yeah,
Totally.
like in the beginning, like we're not sending people on trips. It's pretty much just filmed in Albany. Like it ain't our video; it's their video, and I didn't realize that at first, so I felt kind of bad.
But I mean, I feel like most people making a video or like want to be involved with the shop or connected with something. So it's not like
Yeah,
they're asking for anything.
yeah. It's
When
just
I was doing DOA and stuff, and like people would work on the homie videos, I remember I used to get pissed at first. Like, we'll let the homies fucking buy you boards, but sometimes those videos can give a better showing or hit a different group.
yeah.
It's a catch, but it took me a while to get it, and then I'm like, you know what? If this is what it is, like I would want the initial product for the brand because the brand's too small and it needs promotion to get going. But at the same time, too, it's like, oh, these videos are seen by more people as long as this guy's wearing shirts or something, or you can see the boards maybe. Like, and I
Right.
get it; they want to do something,
Yeah,
on
like
that end. What am I going to give a filmer, being a small brand, for hours of work of theirs? Like, even a couple $100, it's not anything.
right, exactly. But at the same time, too, like that video, if they have a part or if they have like part of a part, it's sick. It's like your person. You know what I mean? It's them.
Mhm.
A different video. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's still awesome. I just always like felt bad. Like you guys are doing all this work. You're going nuts. I'm down to do all that stuff too. Like I like filming and stuff, and I like being in the streets a lot. Like I'm not gonna say a lot more, but it's much different than being in a skate shop. You know what I mean? Like, but you can't be doing both at once. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we were saying that too. Like, we've had that conversation recently of like having riders, like, instead of doing like a full video for whatever we're doing, like, nobody's watching a full video anymore. So I'd rather have, some of our guys in this person's video and some of our guys in this person's video, and then
Right.
some people working on something for us. So we still have something to put out on our own, but not
Yep.
everything all like, oh, here's this 40-minute video of just our riders. Like,
that would be incredible. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like kind of unobtainable and maybe like counterproductive. Even I don't know.
so talking about like shop stuff and videos and stuff,
I
another
heard
thing,
someone
like,
yelling out
and I
front.
bring it up to everybody's, I fucking love shop gear. Like, I feel like you guys make really cool stuff. The first one that comes to mind is always like all the pop culture reference, like the Mean Girls one. The Mean Girls one is the funniest thing.
Thank
Like,
you. Appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, I wear it to work all the time, and people are like, "What the hell is that?"
That just like like silly, terrible like party ideas that we were like, oh wait, we can actually just do all this stuff now. We have like this hilarious outlet, and it's just like a dumb inside joke, but guess it resonates further than that. Maybe a lot of people like understand the joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it's
and
just
that logo
so-
just kind of works for it, where you can just splash that on top of anything, and it.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
I like the cross
You get it.
colors one.
Ooh,
It was-
you're
I'm
yeah.
just old, but
You're a real one.
yeah,
Yeah, that one,
that was a funny one actually because I remember with Northern and or it might have been when I started DOA, but I remember talking to James Sayers and he was like, your ideas are just too old, and he's wearing that shirt. And I was like, "Do you even know what you're wearing?" And he's like, "It's a season shirt." And I'm like, "It's cross colors, dude. That's from like the early '90s. It was like hip hop clothing."
Dude, I had like there was a store in the mall here called IOU. Was it IOU? And they used to literally like they only I feel like they only sold like cross colors and fucking Z Cavarici and like all these like insane fucking brands, and I'm like, damn, like cross colors was some shit back in the day. Like, but I feel like Steve, you've even been like, we did some logo, and you're like, dude, you fucking do this shit better than I do my own company, and I'm like, I'm not even trying. Like, it's like literally, it's like Trev said, like we just literally be like, party idea. We'll just be all partied out and be like, damn, this is so fucking dumb, but so funny to us. And it just works. Like in the blotch, when we worked at the print shop, we have our friend, big shout out Mitch. He's like, I'll have a stupid idea. Trev can have a stupid idea. And I can be like, hey, Mitch, this is what I'm thinking of. And then Mitch is the dude who takes the dumb thought because I can't do anything technological. As you saw me trying to hook like my AirPods to the computer, Mitch can take anything out of my head and just make it a reality. That in itself is like beautiful. So when me and Trev worked at the print shop before seasons, Mitch was their like dude who he did like the color separations. He would help bands with ideas and shit. We could just be like, when we opened the shop, hey Mitch, we have this idea, and Mitch could do anything we wanted to do because we were a client and he got paid to do it, and he would just help us out. And to this day, it's like we love Mitch, he loves us, he's a great friend. We have a dumb idea, and we have three really good friends that are really great with technology, and they help us out whenever we need it. It's like now I know who to go to for what. Like I know what Mitch can do, I know what Mike can do, and I know what John can do, and it's like, all right, who's going to get delegated this design based on what they like and can do, and like for the best turnaround. Also, our friend Joe, like shout out Joe Comba, best dude ever. Always just like, hey man, you guys like want or need anything?
Who
And
can
it's
make
like,
me this hoodie that looks like
always.
the Bobby Digital album?
Love that guy.
See,
Yeah, that was.
I remember that. Like, I was, yeah, no, we just
What a
got
good
good
one.
friends that are nice with the design work. Like, I don't know, shoot some text messages, and I don't know, we're fortunate. We got some nice friends on our side.
It was also Mitch, like you said, there was a point where we were like, Mitch would do shit out of like, our Mitch would just be like, hey, and it would be like a dude holding a fucking lobster behind the blotch. And we were like, oh, like, where did you find this? And he goes, I don't know, I found it. It looks kind of cool. And he put it behind the blotch. And I remember we ran it and it sold so well. And I'm like, this makes zero sense, but whatever. Like, you can just put it behind the blotch and it works. It
That's
happens.
like I like the. It almost looks like the Vice City logo. Like I guess it's one of your staple shirts, the season shirt, and it just has a city, and you know what I'm talking. It's like not script, but it's
Skyline.
Yeah,
skyline. Yes,
It's the skyline. It's like the city, the seasons. So that shirt was actually the dude who did All Bunny, Ryan. He had a part in it. His dad pretty much did like that logo for like a Brugger's Bagels 5K run in the 80s because he was a graphic designer. And then just that thing became a shop tee out of nowhere. It was like that logo, but instead of Brugger's, it said Seasons. And it's the like exact
awesome.
same picture
the best shirt.
from that. It's like it's one of the I feel like that one and the blotch are like just
John, our
the
friend
ones.
John. You guys met John Marshall when you were here, right? He
That's the
he
legend. I
Yeah.
probably have met him at least. Hello, what's up? Handshake. But that's like the legendary Albany dude, right?
Upstate New York.
for sure. Yeah,
The dude, the goat.
That's like I remember Cody always telling me stories. He'd be like, and John Marshall did this, and John Marshall and Kenny Reed, and John Marshall, and like,
yeah,
yeah, he was always held in a high regard.
for sure. Yeah, he's helped us a ton, like a ton. He's like I always talk about. He's like my big brother. Like I've known him since I was like so little because he was like this ripping skater, and and then like when the older ripping guy is super nice to you and shit, it's like so cool. So it means so much, you know.
Yeah, there was the Jimmy Cliff one. Did I say that right? That was the LeVar McBride, song
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Trilogy.
Yeah, we did a little
Yeah.
project with our friend Ben, who does a clothing company like called Sex Hippies, and that was a little project with him. And he had to get the trilogy font like drawn because it's not a font, and that was like kind of tricky doing all that. Remember in the credits how it goes up real quick and it's like real squiggly with like
Hmm.
the music and stuff. You could like screen, you could like pause it, but imagine pausing one of those old trilogy videos now and trying to use that font. It's like pretty much impossible. So it had to be redrawn, but it came out
Man,
awesome.
Why?
I wanted to do. It's funny because I wanted to do a video one time for DOA and have the titles, like the dudes' titles in the world section of Trilogy, like how the like Kareem's name and like and I couldn't find the font. And then I
Yeah,
was trying to take those and Photoshop the letters and try and it was insane. I couldn't do
yeah,
it. I was
yeah.
like, oh, this all must be handwritten.
Yep.
Wow,
So
that's so sick. All that
we're
stuff
on
that
the
goes into it.
same wave here with loving the trilogy video because that's like I love
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Is that your favorite video, Trev?
I think so, man. I
Top
think there's
three?
like definitely that because I was gonna say I think there's probably like five, like depending on which day it is, might be like, oh, that's the best video. But
Yeah.
that's always in there for sure. That was
Definitely
like when I
depending on
started
the day.
skating and stuff. That's what was coming out. So that was obviously I didn't see it when it was brand new, but maybe a year or two later I'd see it, and that was just like I don't know, stuff looked cool and sounded cool back then. I don't know. It was just those were great videos. How lucky was I? I started skating like 95, 96. Think about those videos from then. I'm like the luckiest kid ever. Like you start skating and you get all those videos coming out. To me, like when in that time period, that's when all like the crazy sick videos came out. So
Yeah.
many.
Yeah,
Awesome
that's
you
right
got
when
to
I was
catch
getting into
wind
it
of that.
too. Like I started in '95.
So wait, I think I know CB's answer, but what are your guys? If you had to say favorite video, I guess one.
I always throw Fit Credo, the tantrum video, Credo. I always
Whoa.
call it the Fit video, but I always toss that in there.
Okay, dude, Credo's a weird one, but that's a good one. Yeah. Damn, wild side card I'd never expect, but
Well,
I'll take that.
yeah, that I kind of was like hoping you'd say something like that. What about you, Mitch?
Mine's probably Eastern Exposure 3.
That was like same time
Good
period, right?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
97.
96.
Oh,
That
good
was
one.
what was 97? Time code? Was that 97?
Yeah, 96
No.
or 97.
Yeah.
Yes, Trevor's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else was
'Cause-
97?
Welcome to Hell was 96.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That was the first video I ever bought. So that was the one I watched more than anything.
We were just
You know, I
talking
didn't-
about that the other day.
dude, the funniest shit. I watched. Weird one. I've been on a fucking gnarly Sundays kick lately. I have no idea why. And I was talking to fucking Josh Stewart about this shit, and I'm like, Josh, this song, anybody ever use this? And he goes, dude, no one's ever used the Sundays in a fucking video except Alyssa.
Oh,
And I'm like,
I feel like there was
So
one
we
other
spin
video
back.
that had another Sundays.
there wasn't. I know there was like another video, and I'm trying to like,
Somebody
Like,
used the
finger
Wild
it?
Horses cover. Fuck, it's gonna bother me.
not the Wild Horses cover, but so I'm like, Josh, like we're like talking, and we get back, we're like spinning around on the toy machine video like for a minute, and I remember growing like me and the dudes I grew up with. I'll never forget this one dude I grew up skating with goes, we're watching the video, and he goes, we just finished watching like Brian Anderson's part, and he goes, that wasn't all that, and I go, huh? I go, that was fucking sick, and he goes, I could do that. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Did you just say that? And he goes, I could legitimately go out and do that whole part if I had a filmer. And I'm like, no, you couldn't. And he goes, Brian Anderson's not that good at skateboarding. And I just literally was like, to this day, I'm in a group chat with like the 5 dudes I grew up skateboarding with from like the early to mid 90s. And whenever he gets all cocky and out of line, I'm just like, all right, I could film Brian Anderson's part from fucking one of the greatest skate videos of the 90s. He's like, shut up, dude. Just shut up. Like,
Yeah.
he regrets saying it, but it's like not in stone because there was no like, videos then. But
wait. What year was America? Was it yellow?
Yellow. I would say yellow is probably like
Got by-
97.
got
97.
97 was day one versus Rodney.
Okay.
Damn.
An
I didn't
interesting
even fuck
time.
with that video when it was out. At
What's
I
that?
all.
loved that one. I had that one.
I didn't fuck with that video at all when it was out.
I loved it.
I was super hyped on
Hey.
it, but that was definitely world going downhill.
That was like I was not about it because of that. Like I wasn't fucking with that.
Yeah, it was sick, and I remember watching it, but it was like, oh, Shiloh only has like 5 tricks. Like,
Yep.
I don't
Wait, what?
really care about day one or Rodney. Like,
Yeah.
day one's actually, that was like one of day one's cooler parts.
Yeah, day one is sick.
Day one's part was cool in that. He skated to Wyclef Jean.
Yeah, yeah.
Wyclef Jean.
So did someone else recently. What was that? Oh,
Oh, somebody skated to the Fuji's, right? Recently?
April video, the April Nike like dunk video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was saying,
Love the Fugees.
I watched that with my girlfriend Katya, and I was like, if Wyclef is in this, and then all of a sudden Wyclef comes in, I'm like, what are they doing? But it actually was kind of cool. But I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're not gonna have the Wyclef like rap. Like, there's no way. And they did.
For April. That was so weird, I thought.
Wait, I just thought of another 97. That was was it mixtape? Was that 97?
That might have been.
Yeah, that's all that
That's
era.
like
What a-
mixtape's like top 3, right? That's like
Mixtape's fucking hater proof.
that one's like
Period.
really
Yeah.
good.
97. Trev, you're amazing at this.
Dude, I'm just that. It was my time.
That good.
What else was-
Mixtape 97. Anthony Correa's part.
Exactly. That's like right there. I mean, without that, it's still really
Gan
good.
Jemmy.
Exactly.
Those were like
Because I always say 96. I'm always like 96 is like the best ever. But
96 is Mouse.
It's really
which is like
96,
weird
97.
to me because I always think it's like, yo, this shit came out in 96, but you know it was filmed in like 94, 95.
Maybe.
I was like, you're just like, these, like it took so long back then. And I was like, I remember dudes would save their lunch money for the week to try to buy like a board or wheels. Like you'd save for a couple weeks. It was like, I was the polar opposite. I feel like I was more like you, Mitch, where I was like, well, I get $2 a day for lunch. And if I just like steal something from the cabinet, I can get down to the skate shop and I can buy a video. I don't care what video it was. Like to this day, there's like stupid skate video knowledge in my head because I had to buy Powell Suburban Diners because it was the only new video that came into the shop that week and I had enough money to buy it. To this day, Gmos, one of my favorite parts.
When I
of all
first started
time.
working at the surf shop, it was like end of 97, early 98, and every new skate video that came out, I just ordered it. Like I didn't care. There was like,
Nice.
I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna watch it, and if it sucks, whatever, then I have it.
Yeah, that was the same shit. It was like I'd go to the skate shop and it was like, what video came in that I don't have? Oh, okay, I'll buy that. Like VHS, like so many fucking sick videos
Like,
that way.
this Church of Skating video. Let me grab this just because I don't
Yeah,
know what it is.
Dude, hookups, like the hookups video.
CB, do you still have your copy of Asian Goddess?
Dude, I have 2. I have one without a cover and one with a cover, mint condition. Because I love that video so much, and I'll never forget the first time like Jeremy Klein hit us up, and he's like, "Yo, do you guys want to like carry the shit?" And I was like, "Fully, this shit's like always been a fan, like whatever." I was like, "I loved your fucking part in Asian Goddess. It's to this day one of my favorite videos." He's like, "Cool, send me your order." I was just like,
Thanks
like,
for your money.
damn it.
No, it's worth a fortune.
What
Asian Goddess.
is it?
How much?
Yeah, dude. That video's for like $300-400 on eBay.
Oh, sick! I'll never give it up.
We have 2.
That's one of those ones.
Yeah, you have 2.
Yeah, but also it's like I look at that video as like there's like a handful. There's 5 videos that I literally like. I hold so near and dear to my heart.
That's
If I
one of
saw-
them?
Yeah, that one really like I came up on that one, dude. It was like the Tom Penny footage in that one. The fucking dude. Fuck. It was what's his name before he went kook. Fucking
Greco?
oh, dude, the Greco footage when he was like 15, 16 years
Connecticut
old
Greco.
is priceless
Yeah.
in that video.
See,
It's
that
so
video
good.
bummed me out a lot because
Why?
Well, because I loved Rubbish Heap, so that's my version of Jeremy Klein.
Okay.
And
See, I
this was
wasn't a
like,
fan of Rubbish Heap.
you have Rubbish Heap?
I do, but I wasn't a fan of that.
Oh my God, that was my eye opener video. But that with Asian Goddess, and it was like, he's on Birdhouse. That guy was the best, and now he's wearing these high water pants. I don't know. And yeah,
Dude,
so
I
that
just
video,
saw
like,
this dude ollieing. I saw this man ollieing things that nobody could ollie, and I was like,
oh, it's
where's he ollieing these things off of? Like, why is he can ollie more than anybody ever?
yeah,
I
dude,
also
it's
like loved all the like stupid little fucking like anime cut into everything for some reason. I don't know why.
which is crazy because that's like the biggest thing now. So that video's 90 what? 93, 94,
Probably, I think
93?
it was probably like 94.
Yeah.
It was probably 94, 95
So
tops.
that's almost 30 years old.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that video the other day. I was talking to somebody about it, and they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "I know that's worth a lot," and they were like, "Yeah, it's maybe like 300 on eBay." And then,
Yeah, you can't find it online. It's hard to find online, but I watched it with my kid on VHS because she was like into like anime and shit, and she was just like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" There's like anime and skateboarding, and like she liked the soundtrack. I was just like, "All right, this is cool." Like, but
yeah.
same thing, you're like,
So a few years ago, I had no idea that VHSs were gonna like all of a sudden come back and be a thing, and I fucking traded my copy of Memory Screen for a.
oh, because you're never gonna forget that one for the rest of your existence.
Dude, I'll never like looking back. I was like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" It was like right before like people
That's
started
like a
getting-
grail for people.
I know, and
Oh,
it was just sitting in my closet. I didn't even have a VHS player at the time, and I was like, he like said something about looking for it, and I was like, I don't know, I'll just trade you.
I feel like I might go fight him for you, dude.
Take us right into Decade. We were just, we were all just there, and you guys were a big part of getting that going. That was one of the best. Like, I've been to a bunch of them, but that's probably the best one I've been to.
Mhm.
Sick. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, thanks.
Yeah, Trevor, you put in a ton
That
of work.
was my
Like,
first one.
it's crazy. You couldn't even tell
Really?
with that wall that it was like not
Yeah.
originally there.
Well, it's funny because like we built a wall and stuff like that. But for me, that's like CB was holding down the shop all week. I was just hanging out with Tim and Sarah and whoever else, like building an easy wall. Like it was super fun because we allocated enough time to like build it out, and it was very simple. So it was just a super fun week getting it ready. And then, of course, you're nervous, like, I hope this doesn't flop, and I hope it's actually fun. I hope nothing weird happens. And then it ended up going like as smooth and as awesome as it could have gone. It was so fun.
Yeah, Tim and Sarah put on such a good event already, and then like you guys come in and
They're the best.
They're like
Oh,
the best.
dude. I can't. You could give me one full hour to just tell you how great those two human beings are. Fuck, man. Like I think I've said to Trev multiple times. I'm like, I have like a checklist of things in my head that like I want to accomplish as like a skate shop owner. And the top of the list was legit doing a decade. And I was like, this is never going to happen. Like we're not a major metropolitan city. We're a small city. And like, I feel like, yeah, we do what we do like well, but it's like, why would they ever want to come to us? Because I've seen everything they've done and I think it's amazing. Why would they ever want to come to Albany? And it's like, I feel like Steve really like bridged that gap, and then we just all made it come together in the best way. Like I'll never forget, like they reached out and I literally was like, all right, this is it. I was like, we're retiring, we're good. Like I was like, this is all I want to do. If we can make this happen. And then it's like we worked together over a year. It was like a great learning experience to do something so big over the course of a time, but making everything like fall into place, like the beer sponsor, the labels, the fucking space, the parking lot, what's getting it was like you're thinking of so much shit that you're not even like, what's going to be on the wall? What are we going to get to see from Tim's collection and everybody else until they built the wall and put it up? And it's like, damn, so much goes into that. It's like insane. And I'm so glad to be a part of it. And I was so bummed I couldn't be at the girl 30th anniversary because it's like next one, no matter where it is, I don't care. I'm flying.
Dude, that's
there.
what I said.
I'm gonna work.
Like, I never want to miss another one.
Girl chocolate also like top 3, probably like number 1, like favorite company of all time. Born and raised on Girl, love Girl. Like just so bummed I couldn't make it. The timing was like a few days off. Hoping, like shit, like the next one, definitely.
Yeah, I think once somebody goes
great.
to one and you see how much of a
Yeah.
good time it is. Like I went to the Philly one and I'm like, all right, cool. Like it's, I'm used to it. It's, all people I know. But then it brought so many people out that I was like, oh, it's in DC next year. I have to go to DC.
Yep.
And then after that, I was like,
And that's like we missed Tampa by one night, and just being like, damn it, I've always wanted to go to one, and I've missed them by a night. Or it was like the NJ one was like it was super
there was a
snowy.
blizzard.
It was like super. I was like, I'm not driving down there in this shit. It was like there was always an excuse, and then it comes to your city, and you're like, I can't blow this. Like this has to be like the greatest event that Albany's ever had. Period. The end. Can't miss this.
yeah. I mean, the amount of people that traveled to Albany just for that. Like I saw so many people that I hadn't seen in years.
Yeah.
I almost missed that one because of Armin. Fucking dick. We were at an event in New York, and Armin fucking gets home. He's like, I have COVID. And me and Armin we closed down the karaoke bar 2 nights in a row in New York. And then he's like, I have COVID. And I'm like, dude, I got fucking Decade in like 4 days from now. He couldn't come out because of it. I had to fucking stay home. I'm testing, being like, oh, great. I'm not going to get to go to Decade, not only like any city I've been to, but like
Your own
the
city.
city I like. Oh, I was like, we were good though, thank God.
No, I'm going to say going up to Albany, Ralph Fillion, who I've been talking to for 6-7 years through Instagram, but it was definitely, we kept saying, yeah, the best dude.
Love Ralph.
Ralph's a man.
Ralph
Yeah,
is
I
a
got to meet him that
fucking
weekend.
real
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a
best
And he
dude.
was like, because he kept saying, like, we got to meet up in Albany. We're going to go to Albany, and, something keep coming up. And he's like, I'm going down. I'm getting a room. We're going skating. I'm going to Decade. And I was like, no matter what, I'll be there.
nice dude.
And and I finally
Yeah.
met him. Best dude.
Best dude.
Ralph is the best dude. Always
Yeah.
swings through. Like if he's driving somewhere, he's like, I'm finding a way to come to Albany. With or without the family. He's the best.
Oh, that's my favorite thing about going to like random towns is like just popping into whatever the local shop is, even if it's like I'm not not there on any kind of business thing. I'm like, oh no, I just want to like stop in and like check in with whatever. Like, oh, I got to drive an extra 20 minutes in this direction to stop into whatever shop it is. Like, I want to do it just to kind of
Yeah,
see
for
what's
sure.
going on.
It's due diligence. You're just like, I got to see what's popping, Like, let me go buy a shop tee, say hi, shake hands, kiss babies. Like, that's just how it is. Like, anywhere I go, it's what you do. I'm on some other shit, though. I'm like, now I go and I'm like, I have to drink a beer in every shop I go to. I got to like put people, I want to make everybody uncomfortable. Like, I'm just showing up with a beer. I'm just like, I'm going to drink this here, whether you're comfortable with it or not. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm trying to just like, it's like getting that shot glass in every city you go to. I'm doing that every fucking city I go to. I'm drinking a beer in your shop.
All right, so when I come back up, we got to drink a beer in the shop.
I'm sure we probably did, but next time you're here, we'll definitely drink a beer in the shop.
I was going to say, watch him kick you out. Like, you can't drink that in here. Get out of here.
Yeah,
on
now
now.
I'm the guy they're complaining about on the cameras.
No, never that. No, we'll have one at the shop. We'll get a little loose juice in us, and then we'll go right down to the plaza. We'll take 10 pushes down to the plaza. We'll be good.
And then you guys have to do the Ryan Johnson gap.
I mean, dude, we'll just sit on top of it and drink a beer and be like, yo, one time, one dude across this gap. If you want to cut it there, whatever. Yo.